Premier Automotive Group is making a difference in our community. Troy and Tracy Duhon founded Giving Hope NOLA to serve those in need in the greater New Orleans area. Giving Hope NOLA operates the food pantry of New Orleans, which has fed thousands of people hot meals since it opened in 2013. We specifically target both children and the elderly in New Orleans East. Giving Hope NOLA and Premier Automotive is making a difference. Learn more by visiting givinghopenola.org. Ken Trahan, sportsNOLAtv. The LSU Tigers went down on the plains of Auburn, Alabama, and it didn't go very well. It didn't go very well from the start. It was over with quickly, 41-7 final. And Amy, this was just the shape of things to come. Auburn basically making plays in every facet, well covered there, but still couldn't make a play, and that was the shape of things to come.
It pretty much defined the entire game. But I tell you one thing, we were all excited about what this meant for the debut of Brandon Harris, but he couldn't find receivers. He was missing throws that I think normally he would. He just played bad. And, you know, to his credit, he acknowledged that he did not play well. In fact, I think a direct quote was that he was on the sideline saying that this feels like a nightmare and I wish somebody would just wake me up. I can't believe that this is happening. But to that end, it defined, I think, what we're going to be talking about as an LSU season the rest of the way.
It looked a lot like Mississippi State there, Brian, the middle of the field wide open on a quarterback draw. And it doesn't matter if Harris had played well or not. They couldn't stop Auburn, so it made no difference. And you put the young man in a very tough position to give him his first start at Jordan-Hare Stadium against a potential national championship team.
You know what? They did the right thing by giving him a chance to play against Mexico State, and he shined. And we all said the same thing. Put him in this stadium and see what happens. And the biggest difference, not only was it the quarterback play, but Auburn's a darn good football team. They're much deeper than LSU is. And you saw what difference Marshall made against Brandon Harris.
Same score in 1999. Auburn beat LSU by in Tiger Stadium, Ricky, and 566 yards for Auburn. I don't care who plays quarterback. You got no chance with that kind of defense.
You know, yesterday I seen Bo Jackson at the game, and I was questioning, well, was he out there or not? You know, I mean, I seen him running up and down the sideline, but, you know, I thought he was playing in the game too.
Pretty good. Seriously, when you look at this LSU offense, you know, you start off against an 8-man box, you're trying to run the ball twice, and then you try to pass on third down. It's very difficult to do. Don't you have to give the quarterback a play or two? He can complete a short pass, get some confidence, and maybe keep a defense honest early?
Yeah, when Ferret came in the game, they know exactly what he was going to do. I mean, you can take him and run him straight up the middle of the field, and they got an 8-man, 9-man in the box. I mean, I don't know what kind of yards you're looking for him to get. You got to get him on the outside. He got a lot of speed. I mean, here's a guy that you brung there to, you know, utilize, and look like to me, they just give him the ball straight up the middle, and he can't get nowhere. You got to play pass, you got to open your offense wide open and give LSU a chance. Auburn, you know, they never did have to get out that 8-man front.
Well, we would be remiss if we didn't mention the poor clock management. Not that that had a hill of bean difference to affect the outcome of the game, but you know, that is just missed clock management at the end of the half.
Well, it's inexcusable. It's terrible.
Just totally.
And you have a freshman quarterback, you got to help him.
Absolutely.
And this is just an epidemic. It never stops under Les Miles. And Les Miles isn't going anywhere, by the way.
Right.
He's under a long-term contract, nor should he go anywhere. He's done an outstanding job, and the record speaks for itself, but he's done a terrible job of clock management for a long period of time, Amy. It's happened over and over and over again, no matter who the quarterback is.
Yeah, no, this is absolutely nothing new. I think we've been screaming about it since he got there. But, you know, frankly, in terms of LSU and what we're looking at this season, I think that it's beyond clock management. It's beyond a quarterback. It's beyond just a defense. I think it's everything put together that just means that this is an LSU team that in the SEC is just not very good.
When we're talking about national rankings, the picture looks very strange to fans of the purple and gold because LSU is out of the top 25 for the first time since 2008. Florida State holding on, Auburn all the way up to second, and then comes the great stories. The Mississippi duo of Mississippi State and Ole Miss, ironically, tied for third. How about that? Baylor fifth. What a coach there. Notre Dame sixth. Great job there, and Golson's made quite a difference. Alabama drops to 7. Michigan State, good program. TCU with a big win over Oklahoma. Arizona with a bigger win over Oregon. So, Ricky, no LSU ranked there, and Auburn vaulting up. And how about the two Mississippi schools? That's pretty special.
Well, I'll tell you what, man, I played golf with those coaches this off season, and both of them great guys, Mississippi State coach and Ole Miss coach. I mean, and I'm happy for those guys. They're right around the corner, so, you know, you can't pull for LSU and Tulane. They're the next thing about.
Yeah, Mississippi State hosts Auburn this week in another showdown, which ought to be very revealing, and I got a feeling that quite a few points are going to be scored in that game. The Tulane Green Wave had the week off in preparation for their home game against Connecticut Saturday night, 7 p.m. at Ullman Stadium. And Brian, the story certainly revolves around quarterbacks here as well. Who's going to play quarterback? Tanner Lee, a bruised shoulder, has not practiced, but so far nothing negative in terms of x-rays being positive. So figure out that statement I just made. That said, he might play on Saturday night, or he might not play. So then it becomes, who will the quarterback be, Nick Montana or Devin Powell?
Nick Montana. Last week, I understand that Nick took all the reps with the first unit, and they'll know more tomorrow when they report back to practice. But if Tanner can't go, it's going to be Nick's ball.
And Amy, looking at the rest of the schedule, this is a winnable game. This is one they really need to win.
No, they do. Tulane needs a win, and Nick Montana has proven to be a capable ball manager. So, frankly, Connecticut coming in, they should come away with the W.
First home conference game in their new conference, the American Conference, Ricky. Another first for Tulane.
Yeah, I mean, they're in a position now where they can't drop any more games. I mean, so they got to win this one.
Well, they really do, and they have a football team that's in bad need of a win. Sherman Beatty over 70-yard rushes 3 different times this year. That's a Tulane record. Remarkable freshman who's doing a great job out of John Curtis. They need to get the ball in his hands more frequently. He's really good. And Tanner Lee is their quarterback moving forward no matter what, when he's healthy. But for this game, I agree with Brian. I think it might be Nick Montana. We'll take a timeout here. When we return in just a moment, high school football becomes our showcase via the first NBC Bank Prep Showcase on WHNO TV 20.